afternoon, everybody. Hi. Select Board Member Jim Snyder-Grant is with us. Select Board Member David Martin, and we have some esteemed guests behind me who will be introduced shortly. Happy Earth Day Eve, everyone. We're excited to be here today with Commissioner Martin Suberg, Senator Eldridge, Representative Sina, Representative Govea, and members of the town staff and local officials. We love electric vehicle chargers here. We have 8 in town. One is just for the police department, and then the other 7 are available for general use, like this one. We've got a lot of support from the state in rolling out these important pieces of infrastructure throughout the community, and really appreciate all the work from MassDEP and the MassEVIP program, who makes it very easy to try to bring these resources into a community. And Acton is a special place for these things because we have a lot of support from our local leadership. Our staff, Andrea Becerra, our sustainability director, does a lot of great work, but it starts with the select board, who really sets the policy direction and says, this is important, everything you do is important, but this stuff is very important. And that's made it much easier for us to implement a lot of these projects. Public Works team makes these chargers appear without anybody noticing, and they do a great job in doing it smoothly. And we're really excited to continue doing that work and partner with the state. We also have a lot of hybrid vehicles, and we're starting to buy electric vehicles. This week we should have our first one coming in, a Nissan Leaf, and we have one of the new Ford Mustang electric vehicles we'll be having in our police department before the summer. So we're excited to continue to advance towards a totally EV fleet in the near future. And I just wanted to mention that after this, there's also another celebration for Earth Day going on at Narrow Park. If anybody's interested, we'll be picking up some trash, planting a tree, and doing some other fun things. I think that there might be hot chocolate there as well. So thank you all for being here, and thank you, Commissioner Suberg, for leading this event.
Thank you very much, John, and thank you very much for being here. It's a little bit windy, but I'll point out that the sun is shining. The sun is shining for Earth Week. The sun is shining for clean energy. The sun is shining for innovative towns like Acton that are looking to the future and a clean energy transition. I really appreciate Acton hosting us today. It sounds like a busy day for Earth Day and Earth Week, and we appreciate your making some time. Thank you, John. Mr. David Martin, Select Board Chair, thank you very much for having us here. Andrea, thank you for your amazing work on sustainability. And my colleague, Christine Kirby, told me it was important to note 2 other people that have played a big role here in Acton. Corey York from the Department of Public Works, who helped install the chargers, and Teresa O'Leary, who, among other duties, helps manage the EV chargers. So thank you very much for your contributions to this ongoing effort. On behalf of the Baker-Polito administration, we're delighted to be here to celebrate Earth Week and to celebrate the awarding of this funding to the town of Acton. The town of Acton has been a leader on sustainability since it became certified as a green community in 2010. And I know you've all seen the benefits of that designation and the progress that has resulted in all of that. And Acton has also been a partner with DEP on our electric vehicle program since 2020. I believe the first grant came to Acton in 2020. We had different size grants of 6,600 and then 7,500 for fleets and infrastructures over the years. And then we are delighted that we were able to up the game a little bit in late 2021 into 2022, when we were able to make available $13 million of funding statewide for fast charging, direct current fast charging infrastructure across the Commonwealth. And obviously it is important that we are across the Commonwealth so that we're able to meet the promise of electric vehicles by having convenient charging. And so our grant program that DEP developed looked at a number of criteria to make sure that we could be across the state, that the infrastructure was in place, that we were paying attention to equity and environmental justice issues in some of these grant decisions. Environmental justice, an issue, climate justice, I know is important to each of the legislators who are here and who you'll be hearing from in a moment. And this most particular grant round brought another $43,000 for installation of a fast charging station just down the road at the Veterans Ball Field. So we are very much appreciative of our ongoing work with Acton, with the legislators that support our environmental programs, including electric vehicles, and for hopefully an ongoing effort where we will continue to build the infrastructure and the enthusiasm for electric vehicles. So once again, Acton, congratulations, and we look forward to future grants and future opportunities with you. To help us celebrate, it is now my pleasure to introduce Senator Jamie Eldridge, who has been an important voice on environmental issues. We were joking, typically we're talking about water issues, but we do get into electric vehicles and climate change and other issues. The Senator has been an important voice for addressing these issues in his district and across the Commonwealth. So Senator Jamie Eldridge, please.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Suberg, for coming to Acton to announce this grant, not only for the $43,000 grant for a direct charge EV station here in Acton at Veterans Field, just down the road, but also that it's part of a $13 million announcement today by the DEP, by the Baker-Polito administration. And that is just so important, because if we're really serious about meeting our goals under the Global Warming Solutions Act, now under the Next Generation Roadmap law that was passed now 2 years ago, and very proud to support that with my colleagues, Representative Tammy Gouveia and Representative Danilo Senna. But if we're really serious about meeting the goals laid out in the Next Generation Roadmap about EVs in Massachusetts to reduce our carbon footprint, you obviously need to make sure that electric charging stations are located conveniently, really in every community and really every neighborhood across Massachusetts. Otherwise, the likelihood that people will go ahead and take that step to purchase an EV is less and less likely. So I just want to thank Commissioner Suberg for his partnership. We've worked very closely together, as he has mentioned, on a whole host of issues, from protecting rivers and streams to water infrastructure issues to some of the development that happens in the district I represent. And it's just wonderful to see the DEP announce these grants. And I think it's really important that the underpinning of this funding, comes from many of the laws that the legislature has passed, going back to really the first major climate change law, the Global Warming Solutions Act and the Green Communities Act in 2008. And I'm just very proud that Acton was one of the first towns in Massachusetts to become a green community. And for Acton folks, and I know a lot are already familiar with this, is that Acton actually used its Green Communities Act money to hire an energy efficiency manager for the Acton-Boxborough School District, i.e. Kate Crosby, who's just done tremendous work. And now, over the past couple of years, we have Andrea Becerra, the sustainability director for Acton, continuing that work across Acton. And so that really shows the leadership that Acton has shown for well over a decade on combining climate change. And that's the work of course, John Mangiarotti, Andrea, I mentioned, the select board, and I know here David Martin and Jim Snyder Grant are here, both very strong advocates for combating climate change, and also advocacy organizations like Green Acton that are really pushing all elected officials, whether at the legislative level or the local level, to do our part to combat climate change. So it's sort of, I don't think, a coincidence that this announcement was made here in Acton, and so I'm just really proud of the model that Acton has shown, really for the whole Commonwealth, on what we can do to be more sustainable and to be more climate resilient. I do want to highlight that in the Senate climate bill, an act driving climate policy forward, which the Senate passed last week, we make further investments in EVs So there is a increase in the rebate to buy an electric car. So that's really, really important if we're really serious about making sure people purchase electric cars. There is also a $50 million fund for more electric vehicle charging stations. So that's really critical. And I was also very pleased to pass on the floor of the Senate an amendment that would dramatically increase the rebate for off-peak use by electric vehicle owners to basically create an incentive for more people to obviously buy electric cars, but also to make sure that the charging is happening at a more quick rate across Massachusetts. So my legislative aide and environmental policy advisor, Immaculate Mtromi, who is here, played a really key role in that, as well as a number of other amendments to better support solar and doing what we can to combat climate change. And so the Senate really continues to be at the forefront of that, and very proud to work with Representative Gouveia and Representative Sina, and I know that they've worked on legislation as well. So congratulations to all the Acton town officials. I want to express my deep appreciation to Commissioner Suberg, to Marty, who we've just worked so well together for so many years, and so proud about this announcement. So congratulations to Acton, and I look forward to that charging station be put in at Veterans Field. Thank you so much.
And now it is our great pleasure to hear from Representative Sina. If you wouldn't mind taking the podium, please.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here, and I'm really excited to be here because we have the commissioner from DEP here with us today, and so grateful that the Baker-Polito administration are focusing those funds at the state level and investing $13 million. I think certainly speaks volume of the commitment from the administration to make sure we're addressing climate change. And I think we, at the state level, we passed a bill last year, 2050 Roadmap to 2050, which it's going to bring us to hopefully net zero by then. And I think actions like today, we're hopefully achieving that goal, and we certainly want to reach it sooner rather than later. But I also want to express my gratitude to the Commissioner, Mark Suberg, for being here in Acton. I also want to thank the town of Acton. I've been meeting so many of their staff. I know that during COVID years, it was hard to even see some of the new staffs that came on board. So really excited to meet some of them and see the work that they're doing. And also, I know Senator Eldridge indicated some of the legislation that he dealt with when it came to water infrastructure, but we just recently filed a bill that would monitor water on private wells. And I know that's not to do with electric cars, but really the legislation, we care about the environment. We certainly want to make sure we're addressing all the concerns and doing everything we can to be effective. So really, thank you very much.
And addressing climate change, addressing equity, making sure that our policies work for everyone in the Commonwealth is a priority of our next speaker. It is my pleasure to welcome Representative Tammy Gouveia.
Thank you, Commissioner Suberg, and everybody who is here today, to my colleagues, both at the state level as well as my colleagues at the local level who are here. The reason why we're here really is that we know that climate change is the biggest threat that we are facing to the sustainability of our planet, to the sustainability of our climate, and to the viability of future generations to be able to live here and to be able to thrive here. And so actions like investing in infrastructure to make it easier for folks to be able to feel confident that they can go ahead and purchase an electric car, and that throughout their day they won't be abandoned without being able to charge that electric car. I really like something that you said, Commissioner Suberg, which is, we want people to feel enthusiastic about electric vehicles. And I'll say I haven't taken the plunge to buy an all-electric. I do have a hybrid, and I love it. It's much zippier than a fossil fuel-driven car. Folks who drive my car, my friends who have driven it, say how much they love driving a hybrid. I have been in a number of electric vehicles, and I think that they are a lot of fun to drive. But it comes back to the fact that so many of our working families, their everyday lives are very chaotic, and it's very hard to sit down and plan for something that might come up in the middle of the day that might mean you're further away from a charging station. So increasing the number of charging stations will instill that level of confidence and will instill that level of enthusiasm that I know exists out there. It's pretty much untapped demand and untapped potential that we have. And so these kinds of investments are really critical. I'm proud to be a resident of Acton and a representative for Acton because of the investments and the commitment that we have had here, whether you're talking about our local residents who know that climate change is a threat and are taking individual and personal action on their own, or you're talking about our select board and our town meeting members who pass warrant articles after warrant article after warrant article to keep moving us forward and to be bolder at the local level. Or you're talking about us here at the, your local leadership and your state leadership. So just so proud of the work that goes into seeing these kinds of innovations and the vision for this kind of infrastructure already happening as quickly as it is. We know we need to, continue to really accelerate the pace at which we are investing in these charging stations and investing in accelerating the pace at which we are increasing those incentives. Hopefully that will get bounced back over to us in the House so that we can also increase those incentives again to make it easier for people to purchase electric vehicles and to really tap into the enthusiasm that I am confident is out there. So thank you everybody for being here and congratulations, and thank you again, Commissioner, for all your work.
Thank you very much, Representative, and I appreciate the commitment. You're absolutely right. The first time, that's a DEP Bolt over there. The first time I drove it, I noticed that thing's got a lot of pep. Yeah, now we actually have a device that bings if we're going over the speed limit. So I have other reminders, but yeah, there's a lot of pickup in these vehicles, and again, enthusiasm is hopefully what we will continue to all see as we move forward. In years past at other celebrations, folks have done dramatic things like plunging into rivers. I don't have anything that dramatic, but we are going to, after this, plug in the hybrid or plug in the electric vehicle, and I guess showing that somebody like me can even do this is a valuable demonstration for promoting the availability and the accessibility of these vehicles. But before I do, I did want to thank staff from DEP, my colleagues from DEP who have run the EVIP program, including Heidi Janik, Erin Bostwick, who's here with us today, Kayla Paulding, Catherine Christopher, Nak Huang, Sharon Weber, Glenn Keith, Winnie Pendergrast, Terry Wood, and Jeff Mickelson. And I want to especially acknowledge Assistant Commissioner Christine Kirby, who's here with us. Christine has been on the leading edge of environmental protection when it comes to air quality and climate change, literally for the past several decades. Many of the programs we benefit from, Christine played a major role in designing, and the EVIP program was no different than that. She is somebody that has a very big portfolio, a lot of technical work to figure out as she's developing policy, and she does it all with great skill and great aplomb, I would add. So I just wanted to give a special recognition to Christine and thank her for developing this program as well. And finally, thank you to the people that helped put this program together. Becky Doig from our Commissioner's Office, Ed Coletta, our Head of Public Affairs, Paul Locke, and Courtney Rainey. So once again, thank you for celebrating this event with us as part of your Earth Day celebrations. I wish you the best with the celebrations later today. And again, we'll take a brief demonstration to show just how easy it is to charge up an electric vehicle. Thank you all very much.